Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to sketch out different kinds of leaves. So for this one, for example, there's going to be a lot less detail in the leaves, but you want to first think about where that main shape is on the page. So sketch out even just that initial line first, get that right and get that exactly where you want on the page. It's very easy at this stage to be able to rub things out. And now before I even get into the leaves, I've sketched out just lines of where they are in relation to one another, because otherwise you can get really caught up on drawing one leaf in loads and loads of detail, and then you realise by the time you get to the bottom of the stalk or the stem that you've missed out loads of space, and then you need to rub the whole thing out and then start all over again. So first just really plot those things out, and only now at this point you can see that I'm actually starting to think about the shapes of the individual leaves, and that's only because I've already got everything where I want it. And if one leaf doesn't go quite right, then it's just a case of rubbing out that part of that leaf or whatever wasn't quite right. And the good thing about leaves, and especially kind of leaves that are imperfect or crumpled up or kind of dried out or something, if you get something a little bit wrong, no one's really going to know. So if you just get, the slight angle a bit wrong or anything like that, then it's going to be very forgiving and there's not really going to be a problem. So on this next leaf, see, a much simpler shape, and I'm just plotting out, I've just done a rectangle around just to figure out, well, if I had that size page, then maybe that's how I would want it to be cropped. I've just started with an oval, and then I'm working into this oval. I'll kind of look at the negative space, imagining that leaf was actually an oval, and it's got two little bits cut out of it. That's really the simplified version of it, and also getting that angle in the middle. And of course I photographed the leaves that are actually in front of me, but when I was looking at the leaf in front of me, it's at a slightly different angle to what it is in the photos, but hopefully it gives you a rough idea. And now I'm just trying to carve in those lines and more fine details, so where there might be some texture around the edge of the leaf, or where there's a particular shape that's cut out from the leaf. Like this one has that really straight edge where it's folded around, so it's got a very, very straight edge. Don't start to draw things that you can't actually see unless you're using, you want to change something in a certain way because you want it to look a certain way, then that's fine. But for observational drawing, we're drawing what we can actually see in front of us. And this leaf here, a lot of people find this a little bit trickier because it's got these kind of it's almost like three leaves in one, all kind of merged together. So first, again, plotting out just where my page would be, where I want it to sit. And then, like I've said before, it's kind of three leaves. So you're kind of plotting out this part, this point, and then the other point, and we will round and join them up in the end. But if at this stage you're realising, oh, that's almost touching the edge of the paper or where I want to crop the paper, rub out at this stage. You don't want to be halfway through some really detailed shading and then decide that you want to change it, because that's going to be really annoying. So at this stage there's not really any commitment. So then I've just changed that bit, checking my angles to make sure that it does actually fit on that space that I want it to be. But of course, if you draw on a larger bit of paper, it doesn't really matter if you go over, you can crop it down to whatever size you want. But if you wanted it to fit in a particular frame or something, then you do need to bear that in mind when you first start sketching. So I'm sketching really, really lightly as well. I'm using really a light hand, and I'm holding my pencil higher up rather than being very near where the lead is, because that's going to give you much of a stronger pressure, whereas if you hold it higher up, then you've got a lot less pressure. And I'm using that idea of negative space again, so kind of imagining it like a sort of triangular shape that's got these two little dents in here. So I'm just literally carving out those dents rather than just thinking, oh, I'm just going to start drawing an outline of something completely. I'm also going to just start very, very roughly carving in where those veins of the leaf would be, because we're going to be shading around those a lot. So I'm really going to have to know where those are, or at least the main ones that are really standing out.